Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see third-year quarterback Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans as they take on the new man, Nick Foles, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. With that, we head across the Atlantic to London. Standing by with the call and maybe a little jet-lagged, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you. We are over 4,000 miles away from where you're seated in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England, and Wembley Stadium. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one, between the Houston Texans and our home team. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Here's the catch! Go, baby, turn up! Get that ball! Get that ball! 44 to Mike, 44 to Mike. Check.
Faking the give, now Watson. And he hits his target, it's Kenny Stills. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Off of play action, it's Watson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. And all the way down to the 41-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. The numbers for Johnson in last week's game. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 12-yard line.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Here's Watson to the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl. For DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
It's second down and 10.
Finish set. 19. I got you.
From the gun, a run for Johnson. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On third down, Johnson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with fourth down, forthcoming. Their bread and butter is their passing game. After that last play, maybe they need to go back to that passing game.
But what's been good for them along the way is they understand their identity. They are a passing team, but they do like to mix in the run every now and then just to keep people off balance. Didn't work very well on that one, but all in all, I like their philosophy.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on fourth down, and my goodness, incomplete. And that could be a major momentum swing here early.
Because the defense stopped them. How great is that? They go for it on the first drive of the game. They're the ones trying to establish something, trying to assert a little dominance. And guess what? You turn it back on them and give them...
Fournette is in trouble, and he goes down to the end zone. 2 points, that's a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
And an alley to run. Short boot, taken at the 21. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
And we focus on Duke Johnson now. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's been a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about this game as well.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Running from the gun, Johnson. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock is going off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
On first down, Watson. That's going to be caught. A well-executed 22-yard gain. First catch of this game, a big one. Of course, he had the big performance last week when he was AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, but that was so last week, wasn't it? I mean, look at what he's doing now. I think he's trying to exceed.
That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Texans push further out in front. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drives 7 plays in length, and the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Foles and the Jags come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Foles. And Blake, the tight end's got it. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Ball on the 30, they'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Foles. Wide open receiver, complete. And now look at this, big gain but a fumble.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
X3, 218, chop it.
Now Foles. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching up yardage against them.
Well, pass there, complete to Westbrook. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Man open is Keelan Cole, complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Here we go.
First and 10 at the 20.
Well, this will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar and some discomfort down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. After the penalty, it's Fournette. Down right around the 25. Aaron Colvin there to make the tackle.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
That's to his running back, Leonard Fournette. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. After 1, it's 9-0. And Lambeau will put this one through. And they are on the board. It's now 9-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. We get a glance at Duke Johnson as he heads back out onto the field. So far, been so good this season. Well on his way, as you see, to a 1,000-yard campaign. Is he almost having the type of year to where you say, let's let him get his and we'll control everything else?
That's one way to go about it. Personally, I go about it differently. I'm taking on the bullet. I've got to, because he gives his team an identity and confidence. And if we slow him down, now guess what? Everyone starts looking at each other like, who's going to make the play? Because he's made all the plays so far. So I have to go get him first. Build my defenses towards shutting him down.
Good luck. I mean, not many teams have been able to do it. We'll see. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. They'll try the air down with Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Throwing on third down, Watson. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number one receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. A shotgun snap for Watson. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
There's a throw into the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 34-yard line.
Logan Paulson is known as more of a blocking tight end. He's never had more than 28 catches in a season, but a nice grab there. Those types of players can often surprise you.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
From the red zone now, Watson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Duke Johnson with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson on the move to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Hey, alert 3. Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9". Let's go, D. Let's go. Mike, let's go.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson rolling to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Kenny Stills, the intended receiver, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, here's Watson. And that will be incomplete as well. Jalen Ramsey right there in coverage to knock it away. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he will find his man on the outside. A minute 55 left to go in the first half of play. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 41.
From the 41, Foles. Underneath, he's got Great. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. Foles now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Now Leonard Fournette. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. They're going to look to throw. That's out to his running back, Fournette. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make it a second down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's 2nd and 8. He's got the hook up with Conley. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Looking to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know the...
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon. Thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll start by heading out west to Glendale, Arizona.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the run, it's Fournette. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Fournette. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Lee's got it over the middle. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 10 more there and another first down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
On 2nd and 2, Foles. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Foles going to come up now, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Foles. And that's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
11 yards there. First down.
Let's go. Let's do this.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play. And sometimes it can break big.
And we'll get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Raquel Armstead, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
So here are the Texans to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Here's Johnson, and he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Watson eluding the pressure right. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or they want to take the big strike and go after it right now.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Fournette. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Up to make the stop, the Texans' leading tackler a year ago, Zach Cunningham.
Check 41. Get some penetration here.
Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. And finding Keelan Cole. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 38-yard line. Foles now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Foles. This throw over the middle taken in by Cole. And he gets it down to the 32. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They go back to the ground now with Fournette. And this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stop him behind the line for the 2nd straight play. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first.
We got for you.
Now Foles. Caught here by Conley. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. It's his 3rd field goal now with a ball game, and they needed his leg. This last one gives him the lead.
It's been a back-and-forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
Here we go.
And we focus on Duke Johnson now. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Out to his left. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Welcome back now here in London. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. In 2018, Deshaun Watson had 5 fourth-quarter comebacks. Only Drew Brees of the Saints had more with 6. On 2nd down now, it's Johnson. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
It's a 10-yard gain there to set them up 1st and goal. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Duke Johnson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans have retaken the lead. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. Watson from the gun, he'll throw. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. To throw again on 2nd down. Foles looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Keelan Cole, the intended target, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I think you have to chalk that one up for the defense there. Someone right on the spot. Excellent coverage. Didn't leave him enough room to come down inbounds, even though he did catch the football.
They look to throw here. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the first.
And now, since this brings up fourth down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a first down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
He'll field this at the 5. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Watson on 1st down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins once again the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Partner, I know my grade school teachers never would believe this, but I can absorb a lesson. I think there's a lesson in this one. He's having a great day running the football, but occasionally they're going to find a way to stop you, aren't they?
Yeah, this time the defense stepped up in what's been so far a tough game for them. They'll try the air now with Watson. Flush to his right. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road. As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down, seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the 1st down.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Houston. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. On the return is Irvin. A terrific return, 30 yards all in all. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this is incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. To Sean Gibson. Give him the sack on the safety blitz.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And from the 4, they get it to the 8 on a pickup of 4. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Let's go. You tighten up. Check nickel.
Off of play action, it's Watson. They'll roll him out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10.
I'm going back to you. Slap.
They'll run on first down. It's Johnson, and the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, second and 11. They go to Johnson again. Yannick Ngakoue in on the stop. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
The Texans on third down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They get the first. The decision to run on third and medium winds up being a good one. Two first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Johnson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for Houston, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.